Hey everyone, welcome to Thoughts of Treasures. My name's Connie and this is my craft room. Welcome in. If you guys are new to me, please be sure to follow or subscribe depending on where you're watching from so you don't miss out on any of the videos I put out. I usually put about four out per week, depending, sometimes more, sometimes less, but the average is 4. Just on all different crafts. Usually I have been doing a lot of the wood kits because that's what I sell. Today, however, we're going to do a cricket project. Cricket meaning vinyl, cricket meaning not that bug, but cricket meaning vinyl. We're going to be working on this. So I'm going to explain to you how to do this. I got my board here. I did measure my vinyl out to fit on here. And we're just going to make a cute little Hocus Pocus. It says it's all a bunch of Hocus Pocus for Halloween. So I'm going to put these to the side for the moment, and so I don't lose that. And we're going to paint this board. I am going to start off painting this white. However, in the end, I'm going to make it look more like, well, it's going to be white in the middle, but just make it more a little more. I'm going to try to go for spooky. I don't know if it's going to go there. I'm not sure if we'll go to the spook. Just a little more, give it a little more character. Let's just go with that. I don't know. There's just spooky I can't do. Just plain and simple. This is Bear Color Samples. They had a $1 deal a while ago, and I keep forgetting about using these back here. So we're going to just use this today. It is just white. Since I'm painting this white, it's just very messy. So you got a big jar. I don't know, we want that. Do we want that? I don't think we want that. I don't know what to do. I can't get it open. Hold on. There we go. Let's get the... Let's get rid of all that. Ugh. Ugh. I don't know what's grosser. But anyway, we're just going to use this. I did kind of stir it up a little bit. Maybe that's what the problem is. But I'm going to paint the front, the back, all white. And then I'll probably end up painting more. I think I might end up painting the back black too. So we're just going to get... Well, I might have a lot of paint on me by the time we're done here. This board is a 18, just under 18. It's a little bit. I told Ross 18. He cut it a little. He said, actually, he had a spare board out there, and he said, well, will it work if it's just, I said, that's fine. So it's like just a little shy of 18, which is fine. It all works. But it was just a piece of, not really scrap wood. It was just a piece of wood he had out there. This is MDF. So it is heavier. I'm not a huge fan of the MDF, but it is what it is. You can just see it just sucks that paint in like there's no tomorrow. Good Lord, maybe I'm not going to paint the sides. I do want the front white. Oh, I keep sucking the paint in. Good Lord, I might be here 3 hours painting this stuff. Y'all know I'm a slow painter to begin with, but I'm trying to be a little neat with this. Because it's drippy. There's like, no. This is this is actual house paint, which you would paint on your, your walls, which is fine. It all works. So, like I said before, you do not have to always use acrylic paint. You can use whatever paint, chalk paint. You got some spare paint laying around? It's all wood. Doesn't matter. But just keep in mind that it's going to suck it in. I'm like, look. I swear I'm putting paint on it. Well, like I said, I'm going to do the back anyway, black. So I might not even worry about putting it on there. But I was trying to give it a base coat is what I wanted to do, because we're going to do the front is definitely going to be white, but we're going to incorporate a little black into it. So here's my question. If you guys are new to the Cricut or you do not own a Cricut, please keep in mind that this is messy. Please keep in mind that I do sell just the vinyl cutout. So if this is something you're interested in, you know, you can just say, hey, Connie, what's up with the decal? Can I get it? I'll be like, you sure can. It just, you know, whatever size. Like I said, this is an 18 by 6-inch board. But if your board is bigger or smaller, you know, I can do accordingly. And when you get a decal from me, it will be weeded. I was trying to think of the word. Weeded, and it will also be with transfer tape on it. So all you have to do is take it off and apply. I do all the hard work. The cutting, the weeding, and applying the transfer tape. So I know a lot of you like the MDF. I'm not a huge fan of it, because I feel like it doesn't, I don't know, it just, I like real wood. It just doesn't, I mean, it's a very smooth surface, don't get me wrong on that, but to me it just, I don't know, the paint just wants to slide around it, except for on the sides. Then it wants to suck it in. All right, I'm going to give this a quick dry. Here's the ball. Give it a quick dry, because we're gonna, I want the front nice and coated nicely. So we want some nice paint, so it might take a couple coats. The back I'm going to do black, side I'm going to do black, because I'm going to bring some of the black into the front. But I'm going to put my decal on first, so that I know where the black is going to go. And if you do work with MDF, you may want to, you know, paint one day, let it dry, because vinyl really does need a dry surface. I used to make, and I still do, but like I said, right now, in the current time, I've been doing a lot of wood kits, and but I used to do a lot of vinyl signs. Crickets are awesome for that. Love signs. That is my main thing I do. But I do a lot of signs with the laser too. Alright, let's see what we got here. Because that's getting very hot in here. So if you ever have any questions regarding the Cricut, I know I keep saying I'm going to do some tutorials on it, but I just haven't got around to it. There's only so many days, so many hours in a day, and so many days in a week that I don't know where any of the months go. Time sure does get away from you, that's for sure. Come on, get off of there. Give this another good dry. And hopefully coat number 3 will work. But I think what I'm going to do first, before I do Just flipping it over, flipping it back. I don't want to get the front dirty. So we're going to do the back first. And then I'll put my last layer of white on the front. I want to make sure this is completely dried. And we're just going to end up using flip of this. We still got the sides wet. That's completely soaked. Can you see that? Well, we got our workout cut out. 90% of this is going to be painting this board. Let me, what I do with, Lord, here we go again. Oh, I got some new plates and I don't know where I put them. Just gonna get a new brush because I'm not gonna let that sit out, and I'm gonna put the lid on this so we don't spill it. Put the lid back on that. All right, let's get busy here. Get the brush. Let's see if this is any thicker. That don't even look like it's been painted. It actually is. So I think with the front I might just do the acrylic paint on it. Try that and see if it'll... Well, I thought I would try that, but shoot. It'll work on regular wood, but MDF just wants to suck it in. All right. So, this is going to be more of a black sign. I do want the front white. But we're going to bring the black into it. But I don't want to do that until I know exactly where my image is. And I'm going to show you how to apply it. There are some, trying to make sure I'm not, I don't mind if it comes up on the side because we're going to do that anyway. I'll show you how to layer. And this isn't really a lot of crazy layering. But there are different colors. And before I put this, I'm trying to make sure I don't put any black on the front. I should probably just stuck with. Let me wipe this up. I don't want to put the white front in anything. That's why I'm trying to wipe this up. All right. Now, let's flip it. All right. Now we can do the back. Goodness gracious. As long as it doesn't move, we're good. Don't move. So yeah, I'm saying acrylic paint really works better on MDF. I've had no problem using that paint on regular wood, but on MDF, let's go with acrylic. Lesson learned. So when I do the next coat on the front, I'm just gonna use the white acrylic I have over here. And this is just apple barrel. Nothing's fancy, nothing special, just some apple barrel paint. Sign making is all about prepping your back piece, so this should be the fun part for everybody that likes to make signs. The backers are what makes the entire sign. If you have those little routers and things, you could do edging on here. One of those things that are yet to come. I'm going to give this a dry because we're going to give it one more coat. So I'm not doing anything special to the side as far as there's no bows, there's no ribbons, we're not doing anything like that. However, the image itself is going to be what the sign is. And putting how I want to do the front and hoping I can do the front that way. We're gonna. I'm not talking to be all fancy or not, but I just want to bring some of the black in around the edges of the front, so it's not all white. I don't want a perfectly black frame. I want it to be more just, there. That's what I'm going for. My mind sees one thing, that doesn't mean what it's going to be. Alright, I'm going to give this one more coat. And then we can do the front with our one coat. Looking good. Yeah, the acrylic paint, definitely. Don't use household paint on MDF. It didn't work well. Alright, let's get this completely dry. And then you can pull it back around. I just stuffed it. Love watching it dry. The edges are dry. Nope. Make sure the edges are dry. Now let's try it. Still wet. Oh my gosh, it's still wet. Just clean this mess up. Got paint all over me. I'm gonna get this all off because I don't want to touch the white with the black fingers. This one I thought I had it all. I'm really not trying to be like, ooh, paint, dirt. I just don't want to touch the black on the white because you know that's going to take forever to get off. So I'm trying not to be too touchy. All right, let's get some white. I'm gonna put this to the side. Now we're just going to use the acrylic white apple barrel, plain. Let's see how that works. I think it may work a lot better. But, so a couple tips on vinyl. You do want to make sure that your, that's a nicer, brighter white too. Alright, note to self, don't use that. You want to make sure that your paint or your surface or whatever you're using is completely dry. You do not want to try to put vinyl onto wet surface at all, just because, like I said, if you put it onto wet paint, it's not completely dry, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to get that vinyl to adhere to the surface. Now there's other factors that could cause that not to happen too. One of them being, the vinyl that you're using, the transfer tape that you're using, all of that good stuff. I do have in my Amazon store the transfer tape that I do use. Now, I've used, and some people say they've used it too, the contact sheets or the stuff from the Dollar Tree. I gave up on using them only because I was trying to sell more professional products. And I'm not saying that's not you because you're using that, it's not professional. But I was getting a lot of residue from it. So when I would put the image on, it would be like tacky, like around the image. So I had to stop using it. It just wasn't worth it. And when I used that for many times until it started doing that. So I just stopped. But you can use whatever you want to use. It's up to you. In my Amazon store, if you are interested, I do have the tape that I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you what it's like. Put some on here. You're going to see how nice and easy it is. I'm trying to get as far close to the edge. Like I said, I am going to bring the front into this. I might give this one more coat too. But I do want the front to be nice and white, and apparently that was not white that we were using. Thought it was. But there's so many shades of white, it's unreal. Let me get this dry. We're going to give it probably... Well, let me get that off of there. Goodness gracious. All right. So basically what I want to do, I want to put the image on here, and then I'm going to put a frame, but I don't want it to be a solid kind of frame. I'm just going to kind of paint until I like what I see. There's going to be really no rhyme or reason. It's just going to be a frame around it, but I'm just going to brush stroke it on. It's not going to be perfectly even. It's not going to be perfect, a nice solid no. I want it to be a little Halloween-y and, What I might do is I'm going to give this a quick sanding real quick, and we're going to try it again. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know what? I think I'm going to go with this look. So remember, guys, here's a big tip. You don't always have to have a nice clean surface. You don't always have to have everything perfect. So I have paint on me. See how it's kind of all, I think I'm going to go with that, but I do want to make sure it is completely dry. So I'm going to get hit a couple more times with the dryer here and just make sure it is completely. So, don't always use your brush strokes. Make sure, use that layering, don't make it solid and then kind of like try, well, how do I get it to age? There you go. And leave it like this, and I think I'm going to because it kind of gives it that weathered look, and I think I like that. I am going to, and this is another thing, that's a good tip for vinyl. It's still wet on the side. Use your sanding block. Do not, unless you want to, do not scrape off your paint, but you'll feel that there's a little rough in places. Vinyl wants the smoothest thing it can get onto. So just kind of go over it. And I'm okay if a couple things come off, a little bit comes off, I'm okay with that. We have a nice smooth surface. I'm just making sure. Alright, let me throw this into here because I'm not going to do it anymore. Let me put this back over here so it's out of the way. This one too. This one can go up here. I'm going to bring that back, but alright, so I'm going to work with it this way. I know you can't see all of it. Sorry. But I'm going to put it up here just for a second because what we're going to do is I'm going to get the transfer tape. This is the transfer. I don't know the name of it. It's in my, like I said, it's in my Amazon cart. If you want to check out my Amazon store, the link is on my website, thoughtsandtreasures.com, in the link tree. Click on the link. If it's not what you want, you go someplace else. I still get the credit for sending you there. So whatever you purchase gives me a 1 or 2% credit, whatever you want to call it. You know, I don't know, commission. Lord, I got nothing. All right, so this is our transfer tape. This is our longest piece. I'm going to cut a piece of transfer tape as long as I can of this. So let's get a pair of scissors first before I can't reach anywhere. I'm going to back up a little bit. It's just I'm just limited on space here, so we're going to do what we can. I'm going to roll this out. I'm going to measure how far I need it. I go a little bit extra and a little bit here. That's fine. I don't want to cut my mat. Put this back over here out of the way. Now, I'm going to give you a couple hints. Now, I'm going to cut this down smaller because I don't need this whole piece of sheet. So I'm going to cut it down, but I'm going to make it bigger. Now, probably this is where the lines come into handy, but I still don't use them. I just kind of measure, and then we're going to cut this down. The lines are supposed to help you align things. I don't know how to do that. There is, and I will tell you this, there is a red transfer tape with the red lines on it. These are blue. I prefer the blue ones because the backing on it is thinner. On the red, it is very, very thick. So when you're trying to fold it back, like so, this is very, very paper thin. So you can crease it. The other one, it's like super thick. So I really prefer this one compared to the red one. Again, all your preferences. But this is the one I have linked in my Amazon store. Alright, so now I will tell you, keep this on a flat surface. I, however, do not have it because I've got bumps and wrinkles in here. So we're just going to deal with that and try to do it as best as I can. So I'm going to put this down on here. And now when I pull this, I'm going to very keep it very smooth, and I'm going to press it down as I go because I've got bubbles, and let's just hope and pray. I usually do this on a very, very hard surface. If you have, I've got a silicone mat down and it just tends to get bubbly. So that's why I'm trying to push it as I'm going. But best advice, again, not what I did, but best advice is to put it on a hard table without a tablecloth, without anything underneath, and put it on that way. Lay it flat. I mean, if you want to pull the whole sheet off and put it down, I would just still do the same thing, just little by little. All right, so we have it on. Now, I don't ever use those, and I don't say ever, every once in a while I do. I just scratch the back. Okay, plain and simple, scratching the back. And then we're going to, this is the part I like to show you guys how to do this, because first of all, a lot of people will hold it this way and start pulling it up. Don't do that. Start from your back, and we are going to start at a corner, hold it tight. So you want your thumb down towards the paper. You're going to pull that way. If it doesn't come up, just wiggle it, it'll come right off. So always keep it flat down. Keep the paper down. Don't hold it up here and start pulling. Yeah, it can come off, but it can also pull your thing. You have more control when you do this. So when you come over here, you just pull. I call this part walking it back. Oh, that's not the correct name, but that's what you call it. And you're just going to pull it. I always go from an angle. I think it makes it easier. You can see better. I mean, people spend hours scraping and it won't come off. Just do it this way. Oh, go back. Did I ruin that? Oh, poopy scoopy. I did. Why did that? Hard place. Let me see if I can save this. I might have to, I may have to see how it works. We may have to take that off and recut that, but we're going to see. So sometimes it'll get really, really big and pain in the butt. Just cut it off. So you have more control. But you want to kind of press it down as you're walking it back. See if I can fix it once it's on. Pad off. And voila. And I do want to, I have this whole word. I don't know what happened here. We're going to see if it's going to, it may lay flat. I might get it to lay flat when I get it on there. Alright, now, this is what we're going to do. If you're not good at laying things even, so sometimes with wood you can end up with it sticking. Sometimes it takes forever for it to stick. It's your choice. If you want to do the parchment paper technique, then you can do that. If you just want to kind of eyeball it and just try to do it, we're just going to eyeball it and see what we do. I think. Well, I'm going to see if it's sticky. I might do it this way. Well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm going to lay part of it down. Where I think it should go. Bring it up some. And I think we're going to go with that. So I'm just going to brush it down. Hope and pray it's even. So again, I'm just rubbing it. Scratch it a little bit. I think that might have fixed. If it doesn't, it feels like it's laying down now. So maybe it'll work. We'll see. All right. When you peel it up, do not just rip it off. You want to go very slowly. Make sure it's down. And again, the same thing with this. You do not want it to be so high up that it's going to be a pain in the butt. You want a lot of control over it. We're still going at that sort of angle. Keeping it low down so that if you see something come up, stop. So far we're doing good. Oh, right here. See, and this is where the dry paint, you can tell, and I'll show you in this piece when I pull it up. So far everything's staying down. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. And that's okay, because it's going to give it a little bit of rustic background. But you see all that? That's why we need to make sure it's dried. So sometimes if you have the opportunity, let your board dry overnight. Paint your board, let it dry, let it sit. But, I mean, it's not bad. It looks good. We're 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 good. All right. So I'm just going to reuse this with paint and all. Let's see what we're going to do. Alright. We've got shoes. We've got the cauldron part. We've got some bubbles that go up. We've got Hocus Pocus. And we've got the stripes. So we're going to add all that onto here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut this one out. That's the bubbles, that's the shoes. So we're just going to try to put this together. Make sure which one goes on which. That goes over here. So I'm just going to take my sheet again, lay it down. Make sure I'm putting my design on there. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to pull back the backer. Now, I am going to use parchment paper for this. I'm going to show you the easiest way to and if you just want to eyeball it, that's fine. If you want to make sure that it's on there correctly, you can do this stuff there. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your piece of paper. You don't need it this big. We're going to cut it down. You're going to leave part of it sticky, showing. So this is what we're going to use as our anchor. I'm going to cut this down. And go for the next one. So, this way you can see exactly where it's going to go. See how that goes? I'm going to show you. You can see it laying right there. Just get it to where you want it. Maybe I want it over just a little bit more. And I think right there works. So you put the anchor down. Don't pull it up again. You just want to cut some of it off. Trying to see how I want to do this without. Well, actually, I could probably cut the whole thing off because this is small. And then we're just gonna lay it down. And then we're gonna very slowly pull this up. And there's that. Now, gotta find which ones go to which. I think this one's go to this one. And I'm just using the same piece of transfer tape over and over. Even with that paint on there. I think this one goes to this one. If it doesn't, we're gonna find out. I'm just going to use this piece of, and this is a good way so you don't mess up. I'm just going to put it on here, and we're going to see if it lines up. I think that lines up perfect. Get it even. Oh, I just moved it. Try that again. So peel this up. I'm holding it so it doesn't move. And then we're just going to lay it down. And then same thing, just nice and easy. I actually find layering fun. I really do. Alright, now where's her other shoe? There's her other shoe. Or sock, rather. So we'll keep going. So I said, people often fight with trying to get the vinyl off. You know, the paper's not, the transfer tape's not, you can use the least stickiest. Honestly, it's better to use, the more you use it, the easier it is for it to come off, just because it doesn't stick to anything. Alright, so I think that looks good right there. Let's pull this out, pull our transfer tape out, our parchment paper out. And again, very slowly. Voila. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Grab our little orange stripes. I'm going to take this off first. Duh. Get carried away. So the major thing of this is, so you can line it up, is to have an anchor. I call it the anchor to something sticky, so that when you do put this, no, I did that backwards. Which way did it go? This way. Just so you have something to stick down to. So it holds it down. That's why I call it the anchor. And then you can just shove it down. And this just gives it some color instead of having everything black and white or one tone. starting to look good. All right, now the next piece, I'm going to use this bigger piece. Yeah, let's just use this. Turn it over. I don't know where my design is on here. What happened to the... I'm going to... Put this piece of parchment on here. Now, these are bubbles that are going to fit up here. They should fit nicely because this is the way the pattern was. I attached everything. Oops, cut this off. This is going to go right here. And then my bubbles will fit right in there. Just show you. See how the bubbles fit right in there? All we're doing. As long as you didn't change anything with the design, it comes right on out. All right, now I'm going to peel this up. And slowly put it back down. See how it's getting some color to it? Loving it. Now be careful, you got transfer tape on these letters. Make sure you're not pulling them up because it can happen. Go slowly. And voila. Looking cute. All right, next up, we got 2 more things to put on. Let me throw some of these papers away, make sure they're empty. I always end up just laying them around. Alright, these are little dots that go on the bubbles. We're going to put them on and I'll show you the... I'm not going to use parchment paper for that, but I am going to use it for the Hocus Pocus. Let's use this piece. This piece is kind of getting on my nerves. Now, just use your transfer tape until you can't use it anymore. I'm telling you, this thing can be very, very not sticky, and you can still use it. Key to is pulling the backing off of the vinyl. Walk it back, walk it back. All right, I'm gonna put a piece of... So we're just going to do here because I left it at the bottom. Doesn't matter if you leave your anchor. All I say it's called an anchor because it's going to stick to something. We're going to line this up on here. Hocus Pocus. Got one there. And the nice thing is you can lift this up and move it around however you want. Okay, and if I don't like it there, you can still lift it up. But I think I'm going to go with that. And let's pull this up gently. Remove our... Don't ever just let it plop. Go straight down. So stinking cute. Alright, now I'm going to... There. And you will get it to happen where they come up. That's why you want to go straight as far as you can to the board and just pull the letters down. When you get to another letter, just go slowly because it's going to stick. You do not have to seal this. The only reason if you want to seal this is if you're sticking it outside But I always suggest if you're going to do that, seal the board, then put your images on. Vinyl does not need to be sealed on, oh, I just went back, on anything. Cups, as long as it's permanent vinyl, it does not have to be sealed. Actually, removable vinyl does not have to be sealed either. However, it will come off easier. Sealing it just isn't, you know, you don't want to see. The purpose of removable vinyl is so that you can remove it. Let's try this. I wish it had a little bit something, but it doesn't. All right, so these were in order, and then I happened to, like, you know, mess it up. So I'm gonna just put, these are just little, just to give them looking like a little bubble. And we're sticking them all on the same side. Look, isn't that cute? Loving it. All right, now the last thing we're gonna do, well, second to last, first is get all the stuff off the trash, into the trash can. But now I did, it's a little bit, but I'm not gonna redo that. I don't think it's gonna be noticeable to anybody, but that's where the little, I had the little bit of problem. But I'm gonna leave it. Y'all know about it, nobody else does. All right, so now, this is where sometimes I feel like I go too far with things, but then I do want to do it. I am gonna take some black paint, and we're just gonna go along the edges here. I'm just trying to debate if I want to use a foam brush, and I think I will, but I'm gonna do like lightly. I don't want it to be a frame. I want it to be kind of just jiggity jaggedy around. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I didn't want to do that ahead of time because I do want to go in a little bit. I want to go this way or do I want to go this way? I'm gonna divide. But I'm gonna load my brush on. You can see I'm gonna load it on, I'm gonna load it off. I don't want a lot at a time. So I'm just gonna kind of go in here. I should put it down. See, so this is the kind of the effect. That way there's a frame around it, but it's not a square frame, rectangular frame. So I think I'm gonna go this way too. And I'm just gonna go in, and we can always go back with more. Before I put my, like I said, you can always go back and add more. So I don't like this brush. It's like it needs to go in the trash can. Let me get a different brush. Let's try that one. And I'm kind of just blotting. See, it's giving it that outer edge. And I may go in more, but we're going to see how this looks. Kind of more of a dabbing and pulling. And I think with the rustic behind, I think it really looks, I mean, I'm not a spooky Halloween person, so I'm not aiming for spooky. I'm just kind of aiming for a little different. Just dab and go. Here. I think I might just do a little bit more on this side. Go in a little bit more. Grab a little bit more. I love it. So yeah, you can do a lot with the Cricut. You can find lots of neat designs. If this is something you want the vinyl cut out because you don't have a Cricut, you can just ask. Just comment Hocus Pocus. I think I don't want to go any further as I continue. Just trying to give it a more of a little dry brush kind of thing on the edges. Or if you're looking for a board like this, I can do it in MDF and I can do it in regular. This can be a kit if you were looking for more for the kit. I was thinking about doing a purple background, but I was like, yeah, maybe not. Alright. I don't think I'm going to go any further. I think we're going to give this a quick dry. But if you guys are interested in something like this, the vinyl cutout or the entire kit, you can definitely message Hocus Pocus and I can get that information to you. But I think it is an amazing little sign. Like I said, this is an 18-inch sign. And it'd be nice to just, you know, nice size. I mean, if you want bigger, we can do bigger too. If I go bigger, you may not have this all in one piece, but you know, that's okay. You could do an entire front porch leaner. I was thinking about doing that, but there's no room to do that, so I decided that we would do something this size. But this is what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed. If this is something you want to see more of, definitely hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss out on any of the videos I put out. I do have a Telegram and I have a Facebook channel that I do notify you when I upload a video. So if it's something you want, please come join. If you need the information, I can get that channel for you. It's also on my website, thoughtsandtreasures.com. you can go to the link tree and it'll be there. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If this is something you want to see more of, definitely subscribe, follow, and I will see you in the next video. But always remember, thoughts become things and things become treasures.